Bada bing, bada boom. You know what it is. We got a big old fight night. We're going to Abu Dhabi. We're starting early. I believe the main card's gonna rip her at about 1 p.m., 2 p.m. Eastern. Uh, let's go. Two title fights. Charles Oliveira, Islam, Aljo, TJ. We got Sugar Sean versus the Kid Peacher. Oh boy, limitless. Let's get after it. Every single fight, break them down, picks and predictions. First fight of the main card. Let's get after it. It's a female boot. Caitlin Chookagian, 18-4, coming out against Mignon Fiorot, 9-1. She's a stallion. She's like that prospect. She's coming up. If she gets this win, she'll probably get a title shot. She's going to be right in the talks. She's got power in her hands. She can wrestle a little bit. It's hidden. But then there's the Caitlin Chookagian by decision bet that is like insanely valuable and insanely correct, like 90% of the time. So that's always hanging over my head when I'm looking at these kind of fights. I do think Fiorot, it's a good matchup for her. I think she's going to be able to mix it up, keep Chookagian guessing. We've seen Chookagian get taken down. Her takedown defense isn't very good. I think it's like 53% or something like that. So I do lean Minot's way, but value play, man, I'm taking Chookagian by decision because it really just hasn't been failing. And I'm not going to take Fiorot to make some kind of big stellar performance because that's what it's going to take. She's going to need to have a stellar performance. It's not out of the question, but it's going to take a stellar performance. So give me Caitlin Chookagian by decision, underdog price to rip off this main card. Goosey, what do you got?
I'm buying into the hype. I'm buying into the Manny and Fioro hype. I think she's gonna be able to get it done. Caitlin Chookagian definitely has the experience, but I mean, Fioro's fought some pretty good competition too, and she's been making it look easy. So will she face some problems? Most likely, but I think that she'll be able to get herself out of them. She's got the power advantage on the feet. She's got the kicking advantage. The straight punches from Chookagian might give her some problem, but I think she'll be able to manage that. She should have the grappling edge a little bit in the wrestling department. Jiu-jitsu, probably Chookagian, but if she's in dominant positions, I don't see her getting subs. So give me Fioro to get it done.
Let's go, Dano. Rip it.
I like Fiorot too in this one, and of course you can always go Chookagian decision, not a bad pick. But I feel like Fiorot, she's got such a high output. She's got around 6.5 strikes per minute, and then she's also got just under 2 takedowns per fight. So I feel like she's going to be able to just keep Chookagian guessing, keep Chookagian like maybe not timid, but just keep Chookagian not really wanting to go crazy on the feet because there is going to be a threat of a takedown. And then if Chookagian is worrying about the threat of a takedown, she might be a little reserved and it might open up some striking opportunities for Fiorot. I believe the hype will continue with Fiorot. Chookagian, she's kind of been just holding that top contender spot, hasn't beat the champ, but she's just beaten everyone below her. Just waiting for someone to come up and beat her, and I think it's going to be Fiorot.
Let's go. Fishman. Shout out Fishman for coming off the clean armbar and making the video with the cast on today.
All right, let's go.
Let's go. What do you got for this one, Fish?
Yeah, no. Oh, we got Manon the Beast Fiorot. This girl's the new talk around town. She's not really new, but she's the talk around town. But she's been kicking ass. She's good at the stand up, and she's good on the ground when she needs it. So give me I'm loving the CEO Geek play, the Decisionovsky. I'm loving that. So let's ride with that.
Hell yeah. The over is caked, but it's definitely gonna smack. But I mean, don't put any kind of money up minus 340 on a female boot, in my opinion. Let's move into the next one. These are when these turn to fireworks. Beneil Dariush is coming out against Mateusz Gamrot, a lightweight scrap with a lot on the line, high stakes. Dariush is 21-4-1, only fighting established vets. The guy's on a crazy win streak. I mean, clearly one fight away from the title. I mean, clearly, hopefully, he's going to have to wait. Hopefully not. Mateusz Gamrot coming off that stellar performance against Arman Sarukian. People were questioning the decision. Either way, it was super close, razor thin, outstanding grappling. The exchanges in that fight were just art. People saying that that's up there for, top 5 fights of the year so far. So, I mean, Gamrot's coming in hot. Dariush had this weird stumble up where he was supposed to fight Islam. That had a lot of stakes, and then he tweaked his ankle. That kind of set him back. So I feel like that's why the line is where it's at, because honestly, I don't really see why Beneil is the underdog in this matchup. I'm looking at it now, plus 159. That's actually kind of absurd to me. I mean, his level of competition and duration in the UFC is definitely going to trump Gamrot. The experience is going to be close. Gamrot's going to be good in these grappling exchanges, but this is going to come down to what I believe a stand-up battle. And I think Beneil Dariush is going to have more tools in his arsenal, and I think he's going to have that XP that's really going to carry him through this fight. It's 3 rounds. He's a smart guy, and he's on a tear right now. He's fought better dudes, in my opinion. You can make the argument that Gamrot could be undefeated right now, and he's like this stellar guy that has nobody has real answers for. But I think that Dariush is just going to be a dog in this matchup, and I think that he can get this done. I think the under is also valuable in this. So I guess my play is going to be Beneil inside. What do you got, Dano?
I feel bad for Beneil Dariush because he's been getting the short end of the stick with these title fights. He's always been in talks title fights, kind of like it could be this guy, or Beneil. It could be this guy or Beneil. It could be this guy or Beneil, and he's just never really chosen, right? And then he gets the Makhachev and he gets injured. But this one's going to be tough because Gamrot is a rising stud. He is 31, right in his prime, I believe. The Chookagian fight was absolutely nuts, super high paced, super technical, really fun fight to watch. And then in the 4th round, there's a little controversy where Chookagian hit a spinning back fist, clipped the chin, Gamrot hits the ground. And this was in the 4th round after a high paced fight. Gamrot hits the ground and just jumps right back up, right back into it. He does have a chin on him. He's got a crazy gas tank on him. I don't think Beneil's going to be able to wrestle with him. Maybe he could Beneil could use his jiu-jitsu, but I don't think he's going to be able to wrestle with Gamrot. He's crazy fast on the ground. And then on the stand-up, Gamrot's just super quick. I don't think Beneil's going to be as quick as him on the stand-up. So I feel like Gamrot's going to be in control of a lot of positions in this fight. And then back to that Beneil crazy knockout against Drakkar Klose. It was so crazy because he was getting rocked. He came from behind, knocked Drakkar Klose out. But we have seen Beneil have some trouble on the feet. So 3-round fight, crazy cardio from Gamrot, super fast Gamrot. It's going to be tough for me to pick Beneil. I like Beneil a lot, but I think Gamrot is that dude.
Let's go. Goosey, what do you got?
I'm going Dariush, and it's just because I can't go 2-1 on Gamrot in this one. I think this truly is a 50-50 fight. But I see it being spent uptight and in a dirty fight, to be honest. And I think that that's where Dariush will start to take over. Gamrot does his best work when he's able to sort of decide whether it's on the feet or on the ground, shooting takedowns. I think that Dariush is going to make it chaos in there. We saw in his last fight, Chookagian was able to get the better of him on the feet, knock him down. Especially when they were up close. Gamrot likes to either be outside or all the way in shooting takedowns. I think Dariush is going to get him in some spots where he's got to stand and bang with him, and that probably goes Dariush's way. So give me the dog in this one.
Let's go, Fishman. Break it down.
Damn, boys. See, coming into this, I was thinking Mateusz Gamrot, and I don't know. You guys may have just swayed me there, but I don't know if I'm gonna hold true to my original pick. Give me Mateusz Gamrot. Give me Mateusz Gamrot. I like what he's been doing recently. Yeah, I just think Beneil just hasn't been getting lucky, and I just think he's not gonna be getting lucky today or this card coming up as well. So I mean, I think Gamrot's going to get it done, bro. Simple as that.
All right. Well, we're split down the middle. Gonna have to stay tuned to the sheet. Gonna have some nonsense breaking loose. I got some feelings we're gonna have some ties moving forward. Let's get into the next one. Debatably somebody's favorite fighter. Debatably the biggest fight of the card. Debatably the biggest spot for action on the card. We got Fiorot, 16-3 Russian assassin, coming out against the hype train, Sugar Sean O'Malley, 15-1 1-0. This is a bantamweight scrap. A lot on the line. Goosey's got the sweater on. Goosey, here, you break this one down off rip.
Taking the dog, Sugar Sean in this one. Styles make fights, and I think that this is a pretty good matchup for him. You know, Sugar likes to stay on the outside. He's quick. Two things that Jan has struggled with. Corey Sandhagen, everyone likes to use that as why Jan will win, but I see it as Corey Sandhagen allows the fight to go inside. He likes to throw those elbows and knees. I think Sugar's really going to stay outside and pick his shots. He uses the kicks well, which has really thrown Peter Yan off. And he starts pretty quick. You know, he doesn't gas out, but he gets going in fights, and Peter Yan has started slow. So if he can be plus 250, sneak the first round, I mean, Jan probably wins round 3, but we're in a coin flip for round 2, you know. So I think O'Malley has what it takes to get it done. And I mean, Peter Yan, a lot of his grappling comes from catching kicks and doing takedowns. If he's trying to catch kicks, he's losing defense on a kick. You know, if he guesses wrong, Sugar could hit him. And he does like to do the teeps into the front kick to the face, and he likes to do the body kicks into a roundhouse. So I mean, it's worth a shot. He's a pretty big dog in this one. Give Sugar Sean that look.
Let's go. The odds on this one started off pretty crazily dramatic. I believe that, you know, Sugar was almost a plus 360 dog. They've come back down to earth a little bit. Sugar's going to be plus 235. Peter Yan is now minus 300. Sugar Sean's going to have all of the advantages in this fight, from height to reach to age. He's going to have advantages, but in my eyes, looking at this fight, I think that Sugar Sean is most successful when people are biting on his feints, and he can really have his elusive movements and you know, constant rotations around the octagon. I think that Peter Yan's going to do a great job of cutting off the octagon, not biting on feints, and really punishing him to the body. I think that as soon as this fight gets to the mat, we're going to have a lot of questions answered. And I think that Peter Yan's just going to beat him up. I think that the line, you know, is a little crazy because O'Malley is a point striker, and Peter's known to come out slow. But I think Peter's just going to kind of put it on him, and I don't think he's going to be able to do his Sugar Sean kind of skimper game plan for 3 rounds against such a beast. So I wouldn't be surprised, but I do think Peter Yan is going to get this done inside the distance. Give me Peter Yan by round 2 finish. Dano, what do you got?
I wish this line was closer and make it easier for me to pick, but I feel like I got to go with Peter Yan, and it's not because O'Malley's bad, but it's just because Peter Yan's so damn technical. He's been in the game for a long time, fought the who's who, and he's still 29 years old. So he still could be learning some stuff. What worries me is Peter Yan does come out slow. It's going to be tough to come out slow and lose the first round in a 3-round fight. I don't want to roll the dice on that. But if he comes out fast, like, a lot of people give O'Malley crap for the leg kicks and the Chito Vera leg kick, and he kind of says, oh, that's all BS. And he was checking Pedro Munoz leg kicks really well. And I feel like that confidence could get in his head where he'd be like, oh, I'm just going to check this leg kick in Peter Yan, and Peter Yan's just going to smoke him in the thigh, and it's going to sting, and it's going to be in the back of his head. And I don't know, Peter Yan is so scary, and it's going to be a tough fight for Sean O'Malley. If Sean O'Malley stays around the outside, dances, and quick in and outs, he could do it. But I mean, Peter Yan, like you said, body shots could eat O'Malley up, leg kicks could eat O'Malley up, and if it does go to the ground, I will be nervous. I know O'Malley's good on the ground, but I will be nervous just because it's Peter Yan, dude. And if he wins this, I'll be a huge O'Malley fan. I am an O'Malley fan, but just looking at who's going to win this fight, I got to go with Peter Yan.
Yeah, a sub might be a good play. And if you're betting the Sugar side, I feel like a decision is probably the best value. Fishman, what do you got?
Yeah, in this fight, you know, I'm going to ride with Peter Yan, and it's just tough. Everyone wants to see maybe O'Malley win and shit, but here's how I look at it. Peter Yan, he's a dog. I mean, O'Malley has his way. When he goes in there, he makes it a flashy, clean fight. He makes it it's good. It's going good for O'Malley when he's not getting hit in the face and he's not getting the leg kicked off of him. I think that's what is going to be happening in this fight. Peter Yan is going to come out and he's going to be kicking him. It's not going to be an easy fight. And O'Malley prospers in fights where he's having his way. He's moving around well. I think Peter's going to limit his movement. He's going to kick him in the legs a couple times, and O'Malley's going to lose some of that elusiveness. I definitely see the first round going O'Malley's way, but those second and third rounds come along, I don't see it going O'Malley's way. I think it's going to be a dogfight. I think Jan's going to make it dirty, and O'Malley's not going to look good when it gets dirty. So, but yeah, I mean, shit could happen. It's a fight. Shit does happen. But I'm riding with Peter Yan.
One more thing. Pedro Munoz didn't land a punch on him, body or head. I mean, similar size, similar style to Peter Yan. Couldn't touch him. I'm just saying.
Pedro? Oh, Peter.
Yo, also, I mean, he wasn't engaging too much. So, I mean, if you don't want to engage with Pedro, are you going to engage with Peacher?
He made him quit. He bopped him, bro. He bopped him a few times.
Here, I have one more thing, right? You say Pedro Munoz didn't hit him, right? This is going to be a 3-round fight against Peter Yan. O'Malley's kicked the shit out of Almeida, kicked the shit out of Pavia. Moutinho was a shit show, and then didn't get hit against Pedro Munoz. What if O'Malley comes out, gets his nose broken the first round, gets a cut over his head, gets, I don't even know, his arm kicked, and, what if he just gets beat up and gets hurt? We've never really seen him, face crazy adversity, right?
Yeah.
It's just,
yeah,
I don't
that's
know.
true. And
Eddie Wine.
Peener.
I think
so. I would imagine he comes out pretty mad.
Yeah, let's see it, man. All right, we got going into the co-main event. We have got the Aljamain Sterling. We've got the Aljamain Sterling. We got the 135-pound title fight going down. It's Aljo versus TJ Dillashaw. Aljo's 21-3, TJ 17-4. I'm just gonna rip it as I see it. I like TJ in this fight. I don't think that Aljo is gonna be able to strap him up, backpack him. I think that's his only chance to win this fight. I'm not trying to sound biased here or anything. This is really how I think about this fight. I don't think that Aljamain really poses too much of a threat to TJ Dillashaw. I know that TJ's been saying that all in his interviews all week, and it just sounds like I'm a rioter at this point, but I honestly believe it. Like, Aljamain Sterling has Peter Yan's back for 2 full rounds, can't get anything done. TJ Dillashaw, you go look back at all his stats. I mean, this guy doesn't get controlled. This guy does not get controlled. So, I mean, this would have to be the first time in TJ's history that someone controls him dominant fashion. I mean, in a fight where TJ is going to have the standing advantages, the athleticism advantages, the XP, the fight IQ. I mean, I just think that TJ is just a super live dog in this fight. And I think that he's live for a knockout, because as soon as Aljamain gets stuck on the feet and that pitter-patter game starts to get overwhelmed with big overhands and maybe even TJ mixing up takedowns, because you never even know. Man, I think TJ is gonna be having Aljo in some deep waters come like round 3 and 4. So I'm playing TJ, and I'm playing TJ by knockout. So, and if I gotta pick a round, I'm picking round 4. So that's what I'm locking in with that, and I ain't turning back. So, Goosey, what you ripping on this?
Dude, off rip, I was going on TJ, but I'm picking Aljo. I think the champ stays. I think Peter Yan, those fights are going to prepare him well for this one, because Peter Yan, better stand up, less grappling offense. But I mean, I think Aljo is going to be able to hold his own on the feet. And then if it does go to the ground, I think he'll be able to really squirm his way around, maybe get a sub, because TJ Dillashaw coming off a surgically repaired knee. He tore his knee up last fight when Corey Sandhagen was able to get him in a leg bar or a leg lock. I think there are levels to the jiu-jitsu game, and Aljo's even a step up from Sandhagen, which is pretty evident from their fight. And I think that Aljo will be able to grapple him, get a sub in this one. If it goes to decision, I'm worried because I think Dillashaw will be in dominant positions in this one. But 5 rounds is a lot of time for him to run into something, and Aljo's counter striking even on the feet is pretty good, and then his submission game strong. So I'm picking the belt. I don't like that he's a bit decent favorite, but is what it is. I think he's going to win.
Aljo minus 179, TJ plus 142. Front kick, what do you got?
Give me the dog and Dillashaw, baby. He tore up his knee, yeah. He doesn't have the jiu-jitsu levels that Sterling does.
He doesn't
But
have EPO anymore.
yeah, he's not on the sauce.
Maybe,
He's just
bro.
not
He
that
looks good,
dude
though.
anymore. Nah. Dillashaw, I mean, in this one, I just think I see Dillashaw coming out and just out voluming him. I don't think Sterling is just going to be able to get him on the ground and hold him there. And Dillashaw, he's better with the hands, and I think that's just where it's going to take place. It's going to be stand up. May go to the ground a couple times. It's going to be quick scrambles. They're both going to be getting up and down, sprawling like shit. And but yeah, give me Dillashaw. And late in the round, late in the fight, Dillashaw's gonna be taking over. Sterling comes out, has a lot of fast twitch muscle, and is really quick, and has a lot of good lateral movement. But that starts to slow down. It starts to slow down. This is a long fight, 25 minutes. Dillashaw's been in many more 25-minute bouts than Sterling has. So I'm just taking the championship round experience in Dillashaw, and let's go. I think he's going to get it done.
Yeah, and if he wins this, you can make a debate for like one of the best of all time in that division. So, obviously you got the tints on that. But Dano, what do you got?
I'm riding with the underdog Dillashaw. I like that he's an underdog, and Dillashaw never lost his belt to a person, right? He lost it to the failing of the drug test, and they strip him. So he's coming back to get his belt back. What I like from Dillashaw, you guys have said he blew his knee out in that Sandhagen fight, but he blew it out in the first round, and that fight went to decision. He's got that dog in him. Sandhagen hit that knee on Frankie Edgar and made him go slow motion down to the canvas. He hit that same knee on TJ. TJ ate it, kept walking forward. I don't think Aljo's going to be throwing any crazy stuff like that to Dillashaw to where he can't take it or has never really seen it before, because Dillashaw's been with the who's who. He's fought the top of the top, and I feel like you said, CEO, he's not going to be able to get held down by Sterling or get backpacked like Sterling did in his last fight against Jan. If it does get stuck on the feet, Dillashaw's that dude. So I got to ride with him. Sterling's fun to watch. He's a good dude, good fighter, but Dillashaw's coming to get his belt back.
All right. And that brings us to the main event of the evening. And I cannot even believe my eyes right now. I'm looking at the line for the first time in a week, I think. And we have Charles Oliveira coming out against Islam Makhachev. Charles Oliveira is only a plus 145 dog right now, and Islam is minus 175. I think we all remember when this fight was announced and Charles was sitting at a pretty old 300. It was 350. It was juicy. I think that the rumors have gone around, the stories have been told. Everyone's kind of starting to put their respect on Charles. It's become a very popular underdog pick, futures bet. This is going to be such a freaking banger. Charles Oliveira, every time he steps into the octagon, just produces magic for the fans. Just a true crowd pleaser. I mean, this guy rarely sees like third rounds, fourth rounds. He's just always in a fight that someone's going down, usually on the right side of it. The streak he's on right now, unmatched. I mean, this guy's confidence is through the moon. You can't be any more confident than a Charles Oliveira right now. He is going to Abu Dhabi to fight Khabib's protege that everybody has been ranting about, the best of all time, all this stuff. He's going to his backyard to do this. This guy is unfazed by anything. And I do like him in this fight. I mean, you go look at their records, look at the resumes. Charles Oliveira's fought 100,000 times better competition and double the experience, double the duration. Like you say it, he's got it. Charles Oliveira's seen everything. Islam Makhachev is kind of a hype train right now. Let's be real. I mean, he hasn't really taken out anybody that you could sit back and really say, okay, he deserves his title shot. This is kind of all spoken to existence per se by the commentating teams and surrounding, friends and fam. So in this matchup, though, Islam comes out. He's going to try to shoot for takedowns. He's He's going to try to hold top position. He's going to try to put Charles Oliveira away in a way that he just doesn't kind of get put away. I think Charles is going to grab a sub. I think if they stand up, he's going to dog him out. I like the value before, but plus 145, I think it's still okay, man. I think Charles Oliveira, the champion, has a name, and I think that it holds true. I think that he knows what's going to happen in this fight. He's not phased. He's going over there. I'm riding. Let's go. Goosey, what do you got?
Bronx. I'm going with the champ, former champ, whatever you want to call it. He's got the belt in my book. I think this run he's on is something special. He's so dangerous up top and in the grappling department, obviously. And he's been there before. Islam, this is his first time in a real high profile fight because this is as big as it gets. I think it'll be the biggest card in the UFC this year. We haven't really seen him push into a fifth round. He got the fourth round finish. His last couple times out, he's been fighting guys on short notice that don't really grapple. The last time we saw him in a straight grappling match with a guy that can really hold his own was Arman Chookagian. And we saw Islam start to gas in the third round of that fight. So he hasn't been down to 155 in a while. His last fight was at a catchweight. It's going to be a tough weight cut for him. He's really going to have to grind the wrestling and control game if he wants to win this fight. I mean, that's a lot to ask of him. I think Charles Oliveira, experience, all around more dangerous. Been there, done that. Let's go. Give me the dog price.
Dano, break it down.
It's a tough one. And honestly, I don't know. I don't know how this fight's going to go out because Oliveira is good on the ground. Makhachev is good on the ground. Oliveira is pretty good on the feet. Makhachev's getting better on the feet. This could go either way. But for the sake of the video, you guys already both picked Charles Oliveira. I'm going to pick Makhachev in a weird fight. He gets a little over three takedowns per fight, but it's so low because he gets you down there and he holds you down there. If he can stop the submissions from Charles Oliveira, which I think is going to be a real threat, I could see him just wet blanketing him, being boring, being Russian, laying on top of him. And I could see a weird stoppage to where he just gets elbows, little hammer fist punches for like 30 seconds, and the ref's got to step in. I'm going to be rooting for Charles Oliveira, but I believe the dude's name's Javier Mendez. He's on record saying that Khabib has lost rounds in training camps, in practices, and who are they to? They were to Islam Makhachev. People are really hyping him up. I think he's the real deal. I think he's gonna be legit. 22-1. It's hard to beat that. Oh, man, I hope Oliveira pulls this out, but I'm gonna pick Makhachev. And it pains me to say it.
It's fine. Fishman, what do you got?
So Islam Makhachev comes out and beats on Bobby Green's guard, doesn't land. One thing that splits through his guard and does damage, and is getting a title fight. Bronx comes out, splats Chandler, gets the job done on Poirier, and then, bro, I don't know why he's always the fucking dog, and he's always gonna fucking get it done. He's gonna get it done again, and I do not see Islam coming in and just wet blanketing him. Charles is too dangerous for that shit. I don't see that happening. And whose hands are getting better? Who's knocking down Gaethje? Who's knocking down Chandler, knocking him out? That's Oliveira, dude. He's got some long ass fucking legs on him. He's gonna be front kicking like shit. And bro, fucking A, bro. I don't know. I don't think Islam's gonna be the dude to fucking beat him right now. This dude is on a different fucking level. He just got his belt taken away from the scales. Tony Ferguson was bouncing on that shit. Tips the fucking zero on it, He's hot. He's coming out. He's walking lions. He's gonna fuck this dude up, bro. So yeah, let's fucking go.
Let's go. Tony Ferguson, that's on you, bro. All right, well, that's the picks. Those are the predictions. That's the full card. Stay tuned for more content. Geeks are going to the moon. Let's get it. Have a day, fellas.